Hello wrestling fans and welcome to another edition of Tag Team. This is going to be our special for TNA Sacrifice, the pay-per-view event that just occurred. Got a lot to get to tonight, so let's go ahead and get started. Match number one. This was Mexican America versus Inc. Hernandez and Anarquia versus Shannon Moore and Jesse Neal. Mexican America took this one, but even if that's the case, the cat that stood out in this match, in my opinion, was Shannon Moore. This guy keeps coming up with new and innovative things to do in his different wrestling performances. Regardless of this loss, I think this kid is the one to watch. Moving on. Match number two, this was Brian Kendrick versus Robbie E. I believe this may have been the match that was supposed to replace the match that was going to happen between Matt Morgan and Scott Steiner. Don't know if that confrontation is going to take place at some point in the near future, Slammiversary perhaps, or sometime sooner than that. We'll see what happens. In any case, Brian Kendrick won this one. He needs to stop wrestling in that robe. That's stupid. Let's move on. Match number three. This was the Knockouts match for the championship between Mickie James and Madison Rayne. Now, Mickie James won this one after Tara used the sap glove that she previously took away from Madison Rayne during the match. Now, at one point, Tara had to make a decision whether she was going to take out Madison Rayne or Mickie James. Chose to take out Madison Rayne. Mickie James retained the belt, went home with the title, and Madison Rayne went home with a great big headache. Moving along, match number four. This was the X Division Championship between Kazarian and Max Buck. This match was interesting because this match had the biggest contrast in crowd response, going from the beginning of the match to the end of the match. At the beginning, nobody was really into it. It was very, very quiet. But by the end of the match, as a matter of fact, towards the beginning of the match, there were a few outbursts of boring, but as the match progressed and got more and more intense, it was not even earned that boring stamp that it got at the very beginning, because Max Buck and Kazarian were doing stuff all through the match. But I don't know if people just don't like Max Buck's character, but I mean, he's the entire basis of the character is that he's a self-centered jerk. So, you know, yeah, you're not supposed to like him, okay? Just dig the performance and shut up, okay? But by the end of the match, there was a huge contrast, because Kazarian performed this move where Max Buck was standing on the outside apron. Kazarian dove over the top of him, hooked his waist, and power bombed him from the top of the apron all the way down to the ground, down to the concrete. I think that kid's head is probably cracked open, but it was a very visually impressive move. As a matter of fact, people started actually chanting, "That's impressive." So Kazarian walked away with that one. It was a very impressive match. If you get a chance, go ahead and take a look at it. Moving on, match number five. This was between Crimson and Abyss. Now, Crimson won this one with a power bomb from the top rope. Now, I think this may have been like the second match that occurred since Abyss has been back from getting his teeth kicked in from RVD a couple of weeks ago. He came back probably faster than anybody expected. So you gotta be impressed with that type of guts. Hopefully, it's not harmful to him, but either way, this one went to Crimson. Match number six. This was the tag team match between Beer Money, James Storm, and Robert Roode versus Matt Hardy and Wildcat Chris Harris. Now, Chris Harris and James Storm, as you guys know, they were partners in America's Most Wanted. Beer Money won this one with a series of actually America's Most Wanted old moves, including the death sentence leg drop. I don't know if this means that Chris Harris is going to be back for the long haul, or if this was just like a one-time appearance. As things go along, we'll see if he starts to show up on the shows again. Moving on, match number seven. This was AJ Styles versus Tommy Dreamer. Have no idea why they're still putting Tommy Dreamer in matches, but either way, Tommy Dreamer actually won this one after AJ Styles gets clobbered by Bully Ray after he sneaks in and hits him with a length of chain. AJ does pull off some impressive moves. At one point, Tommy Dreamer is balancing on the guardrail outside of the ring. AJ Styles climbs up on the guardrail, leaps across, and tags Tommy Dreamer. It was kind of a filler match, but I really, again, I had no urgency or desire to see Tommy Dreamer wrestle, but there was a table involved, there was a trash can involved, there was a fork involved, so it did have its moments. Moving on, match number 8. This was the match between Chyna, Kurt Angle versus Karen and Jeff Jarrett. Now, prior to this, Karen Jarrett had indicated that she had broken her ankle and they had gotten x-rays and she couldn't possibly wrestle. Mick Foley came down, said that he saw the x-rays, knew that they in fact were not from her, and oh yeah, she was going to wrestle. Once they got the match started, Chyna showed a little bit of ring rust, but since the match was mostly between Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett, didn't matter too much. Ultimately, it came down to Chyna still being able to scoop up Jeff Jarrett for a body slam followed by a suplex, and then Chyna and Kurt proceeded to give Karen and Jeff matching ankle locks. So it was very nice of them. The win went to Kurt Angle and Chyna. Moving on, match number 9. This was the heavyweight championship with Sting versus RVD. Now, this was another back and forth match that wound up going outside of the ring and into the stands. Although RVD did try the same guardrail jump that AJ Styles did earlier in the evening, didn't quite turn out exactly the same. It looked like he hooked his leg up on the landing. Looked kind of painful. Hopefully he's okay, but we'll see if he's got a limp come this week. After that, Sting got the win and retained the title. So next in line is Mr. Anderson. Anderson was sitting in for the commentary, and so his confrontation between Mr. Anderson and Mr. Anderson and Sting, thinking it's probably going to happen at Slammiversary, if not sooner. We'll see what happens. Anderson said that he had something for Sting coming up this coming Thursday. So we'll see what that turns out to be. That's going to do it for this special edition of Tag Team. Host Vince W. Vincent. Make sure to check us out on Tuesday when we have the regular SmackDown and Raw review show. For myself and Caesar Scorpio, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.